Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes to allow other participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, we'll discuss few important points or something that we have seen gets quite often discussed, or there are certain items which it would be better if we can provide you a response on so that you don't have to worry about or you don't have to keep thinking about that I want to ask this question, right? So these are few points that will help you get more value from today's session. So let's discuss those. But I think there are a number of participants who have just joined, so let me welcome them as well. Good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's session. And I was just mentioning that we are going to wait for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes to allow other participants to join and settle down, and then we'll get started. But in the meantime, we are going to discuss few common points or important points that are going to help you get more value from this webinar. At the same time, there are certain quick questions or common questions that get frequently asked, so we'll try to provide a response to them as well. So firstly, the important points that are going to add value to you, the most important point, and which is something that you have already guessed by now, that this is a webinar format. So unlike a Zoom meeting wherein you can unmute yourself and you're going to start talking, so that is something which is not possible in today's session. So how are we going to communicate? It is going to be a monologue sort of a thing where I am going to continue to talk and you are going to listen, and you don't have an option to communicate. No, it's not like that. Obviously, uh, you can't connect or communicate or share your inputs directly or verbally, but you'll be able to share your questions, your input using two mediums. The first one is Q&A, using which you can ask any question, any doubt, anything which is not clear to you. You can use that to ask your question. The second medium which we are going to use is chat. Chat is something that we can use for our interaction. So if you want to connect and network with other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today, you should use that. In addition to that, at any given point in time, if I want to seek your inputs, like what do you think or a particular point or particular phenomenon, then I would also request your inputs using the chat, right? So chat is something that we are going to use for interactions, and for questions we are going to use Q&A. Now, related to that, a common question which also gets asked is that if we have a question which is not related to the topic that you are discussing in the webinar, when can we discuss that, or when can we get a response for that? So those questions will be taken up towards the end of the session, where we are going to have or will dedicate about 15-20 minutes to a question answer round. So we'll discuss all those questions there, right? So anything which is related to the topic or related to the item that we are discussing, I'll try to answer them. I typically keep the Q&A panel open on the other monitor. So if you're asking a question, and I keep peeking into it also from time to time. So if you're asking a question which I can respond, so I'll do that. But if it is something that we can't respond, or it requires a different, it is not related to the topic, we'll take that up towards the end when we break into the question answer round. Now, coming to the common questions or quick questions which often get asked. So one of the common question which gets asked is, can we get the recording of today's session? The answer is certainly yes. All of you will get the recording of this session. It will be emailed to you on the email ID that you have used to register for today's session. So on that email ID, we will be emailing you the recording of today's session. All right, so that was a quick introduction or a brief for your benefit. Now let's get started with today's session. I'm going to begin the session with providing a brief introduction about myself. We are also joined here today by FIO officials, Mr. Prateek, Mukesh, and Manoj. So welcome to you all. Now, starting with my introduction, my name is Adnan. I'm Director SME E-Commerce Growth at Global Inker. My focus area at Global Inker is of course, digital commerce. But in addition to that, I actively work on educating business owners and primarily MSMEs on how they can leverage digital technology to grow their business. Because in today's day and age, you'll agree, there's no dearth of technology. There is abundance of technology solutions which are out there. But how many of us actually know to use those solutions to our advantage? And we often hear a lot of studies and a lot of numbers, a lot of research is happening, and seeing that there is a change which is happening. People are adopting, or businesses are adopting digital ways of doing business. But and that a lot of time even encourages us or pushes us to adopt digital ways of doing business. And certainly, a lot of businesses have also tried doing that. But with MSMEs, a lot of them have also failed miserably. And that is a reality. I'm not sure if you have done that in the past, you'll agree. So that's where having the knowledge or having the basic understanding of the concepts helps a lot a business, especially MSME, in walking in the right direction so that they are able to achieve what they have dreamt of. So that is why we focus on or we work on sharing as much knowledge as possible. And we conduct a lot of training workshops, webinars, etc. I have conducted more than 400 such sessions and had the wonderful opportunity of connecting and interacting with about 12,000 businesses in various countries. So that was a quick introduction about myself. Now I'll request Mr. Prateek if he can share a brief introduction about himself and as well as about Indian Business Portal with the participants.
Thanks, Adnan, and I would like to thank all the participants for joining the sessions today. Prateek Navale, looking after the trade portal and Indian business portal at FIEO. As you know, the Federation of Indian Export Organization is an apex body of all export promotion council who helps and facilitate the exporters to take their business abroad. We uh, do have a various services regarding the export related trainings, so issuing the certificate of origin, participation into the exhibitions. And this is our digital initiative, one of the digital initiative which is taken by FIO to creating the marketplace. Now, first of all, we need to understand this is not a database. This is not the directory where you are going to get the buyers. The inceptions of this, let's say, Indian business portal, it started with we have basically provided a platform where every seller, I'm talking about the seller, who could be a seller or aspirant business, they can create their digital visibility. And when I talk about the digital visibility, it is more of a creating your digital catalog or your own website. Most of the people face an issues that they wanted to start a business, but they don't know that they need a particular digital website. And even somebody has a digital website, then it may be working into silos because there is no SEO, there is no let's say the traffic on their platform. And we have also been informed that there are many people is charge a lot for creating an website, and maybe seller is not a technical person. He don't understand that what is the plus point, what kind of SSL certificate or what to be added to your website. So we have given the free digital visibility. You create, you do your own stores, and that is why we are organizing the every alternate days program that how to create your digital store. Once we let's say that was our initiative which we have taken in 2019, FIO Global Linker. It's a community where the businesses comes, they create their profile, and the kind of a LinkedIn, they create their profile, they talk about their businesses, they post their inquiries, they connect to each other over there. And from FIO Global Linker community, we have also provided the option to create the store. So once you become a part of that community, then you are creating your store, you have some product and you wanted to showcase that product. Once you are basically connected with that community, you have created your store, you are free to basically promote that store or sell domestically, sell internationally with your own store. But we have also traffic from a foreign buyer or foreign buyer contacting us to provide the good supplier. we have created the one uniform marketplace where these all stores are getting connected. So if you see in the next presentation, you will see your own store which has your own design, combinations, cosmetics, everything design, color combination, about story and everything. But once it is getting connected with the Indian Business Portal, it has a very specific information about the company, their locations, what kind of order they receives and everything. And it has a uniform visibility for a buyer. So if buyer is coming, he would be able to see that the rice suppliers or any kind of a suppliers at one go, and he can either buy that product through e-commerce, or they can place an order for an B2B inquiry. So this is how the process has been happened. We have basically, when we launched that, we have contacted to 5,000 buyers. We have sent them an email about this particular thing. But later also we find that the people are not interacting with that. So as you know that FIO is organizing more than 70 exhibitions. We also have some reverse bias sellers meet. So we started connecting to the foreign buyers one-to-one. We have started understanding their requirements. We started understanding the technical specifications for that. And if you see over the period, we would be able to generate those leads on our platform. The leads is basically open for everyone, whether you as a FIO member or Global Linker member, or even if you are not there on that platform, we are already created. But we have seen that it is very much important to protect the buyer's privacy. And that's why we work on a more on a buyer's side, that he provide a very specific information. That is how we connected to the sellers on this particular platform. And we also tell them, we also share your interest with foreign buyer. And once foreign buyer interested in connecting with you, you can always have your discussions, maybe through email on our platform or whatever it is. So our base work is basically to provide you the digital visibility at no cost. You start try and test. I would not like to take the name of some company. Those are the big company, and they have created their stores on our platform to just test with the new product or new services, that what kind of the feedback they have. And this platform, once you can do your own SEO, you can basically in fact, we are also promoting these things. But if you wanted to promote, you can promote your store, get some traffic directly. And with our efforts, we are already bringing the buyers. We are getting the specific query. And believe me, from that experience, we have seen that even if we are putting the only buyer's name, it is not going to generate the business, because the next questions will come from the sellers, that whether the buyer is genuine. I'm calling for them, but he's not responding. So the point is, there is a need to create a process where we are basically activating the lead. That buyer is also aware about that, the what requirement he has shared, and exporter is also in connections with that, whatever the records we have, whatever the requirement we have shared further. So it is very much important that the process you should follow. If you face that buyer is not responding to your query, we will be happy to again request to buyer that why he's not responding, or whether he has fulfilled the orders. We have a very relevant examples where the many people even have exported the silvers from this platform, or the even that they have got the order from the country like Dominican Republic, or an, let's say in Argentina. So the point is, consistency is required. And please don't attach any false brochures, or if you're not dealing with that product, because now we are more working on to provide the authentic profile to the buyers, because we have seen there are many fake profiles from our exporter has been shared by us to the sellers and to buyer, and buyers start complaining on that. So I would ask Adnan to take us through that, how to connect with the buyers. And if there's a specific question, we would be happy to answer that. Over to you, Adnan. And I would like to basically also introduce my two colleague, Mr. Mukesh and Manoj, who are also part of an Indian Business Portal. And they are always there to help all the people, or if you are facing any issues. So they are also the part of these sessions, and they would also answer your all the questions, even if you're putting in a chat box. So I would suggest, if you have any questions, you can put into the chat box, or not chat box, the Q&A. So our team will respond accordingly. So at the time, at the end of this session, we would having an ample time to also interact with some more exporters. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thanks, Pratik. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. So I can see before I get started, apologies for the distraction. So I can see there was a comment I was reading in the chat. There was some member who was facing an issue with the upload. So although I've already provided the contact details of the help desk, so I'll encourage you to drop an email. But this is kind of surprising for me as well. We have provided the contact details, the help desk in the seller panel as well. So you should have already reached out to the help desk. That is the issue that we are facing instead of like raising it in the webinar. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start sharing my screen and then we'll begin. So you'll be seeing my screen in next few seconds. I'll appreciate if anyone from the audience can confirm that you are able to see my screen. I've started.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bhageshji. All right, so this is where we are getting started. The agenda for today is how can you connect, or how as a Indian exporter you can connect with international buyers on Indian Business Portal and grow your business. So let's begin. There are a few questions which you may be wanting to get an answer to. So we'll just go through them and I'll try to provide a response to all these questions in today's session. The first one is, how does Indian Business Portal help business connect with international buyers? That's the first item on our agenda that we are going to discuss today. The second is, what are the key features of the portal, which we are going to discuss. Are there any case studies of Indian Business Portal success stories? So I'll provide you that. And then what is the registration process? How can you become part of Indian Business Portal if you have already not joined? And how can businesses use the portal or any other service to stay updated with the latest trends or changes that are happening in the export? So we'll go through all these points, and this is where now we are going to move away from this presentation and go to the live Indian Business Portal to understand about the first item on our agenda, and that is how are you going to connect with international buyers. All right, so let me switch the screen and let me take you to Indian Business Portal. This is the Indian Business Portal that you're seeing on the screen, the live solution. Now, the item that we are discussing, and I'm just repeating, although you might be finding it a little irritating that I'm repeating, but just for everyone's reference and understanding, that we are now going to understand how are you going to connect with international buyers, or how international buyers are going to connect with you on Indian Business Portal. What is the process? So broadly, there are two processes which are there on Indian Business Portal using which you will be doing business with international buyers. What are those? The first one is wherein a international buyer decides to not get into the effort of finding the suitable exporter. They simply share their requirement, or FIO approaches them, or they approach FIO and they share their requirement that this is what we want to import from India. Please help us connect with a suitable exporter. So those requirements are displayed here on Indian Business Portal. So if you scroll down, I think my page hasn't loaded up. So let me reload it quickly. Yeah, it is now loading up. So this is where you can see those leads. And in fact, I'll take you to the detailed page, because you might be wondering that there are only just two leads. No, there are more. And these are valid for a stipulated period of time. So after that, they are blocked, and then the response is shared with the buyer. So this where you can see there is a assembled part related industrial flashlight requirement, and there's a feed antibiotics for farm animal and poultry requirement from Russia. So these requirements are there. Now if you are someone who can fulfill these requirements, then you can simply proceed ahead and submit your response that I can fulfill these requirements. Now, how can you do that? How can you submit your response? So for that, you can click here. You can click on any one of them, and it will take you to this page. On this page, before you get started with filling your response, a very important thing that you should do is you should read the requirement which is detailed out here. So review the requirement which is detailed out here. Once you are absolutely certain that you can fulfill this requirement, then you should proceed ahead with providing the details. What are the details that you have to provide? You have to provide your email ID, your company name, your name, mobile number, import export code. You have to specify whether you're manufacturer or merchant exporter, your MSME or factory license, IEC code, upload the IEC code certificate, your FIO or any export promotion council certificate you can upload here, and you have to specify whether you are already part of Indian Business Portal or not. And if you are part of Indian Business Portal, then you have to provide your URL, the online store's URL, and then what is your experience of exporting feed antibiotic for. This is the product example that I'm sharing with you, but you'll have a similar question for other requirements as well. Let me show you that. I'm going to open that as well. And here you can see that it is a lot more detailed, but here also you have a question about the experience. So it is important, and this is something which has been observed in the past, that exporters, when they are submitting their requisitions, they tend to be quite conservative in their response. And what it means is they're just adding a few words, that is yes, because it is a required field, you have to submit a response. So yes, we have experience, so only these kind of responses are added. Now if you're doing that, that is where you're doing injustice with yourself, because you are giving up a opportunity to present yourself as a business that the international buyer must be selecting. Because how will they take the decision? Just put yourself in their position. All the other fields of information are informative, right? So almost everyone will have the same information. How will the international buyer take that decision that they have to choose you and not the other company? By reviewing this information. So this is a crucial piece of information, and this is where you have to add more detail, as much detail, but at the same time, don't add unrealistic on or unreal detail. This is where you have to be honest, but you have to provide more details so that there's enough content, or there is enough material for the international buyer to decide and choose you, right? So it is important, and we have seen that many exporters are not doing that. And interestingly, when we connected with them and try to understand what is the reason why they are not, so many of them had this concern, or they had this excuse that our English is not that good. So if we are adding, or if we attempt to add something, that may not be very nice. So thankfully, in today's day and age, because of AI, you don't even have that excuse, or you cannot make that excuse. You can simply use any of the AI tools. You have to provide brief inputs, and AI will convert into a professionally written content. So you can use AI tools also to create this content, but this is crucial, because if it is not there, then your chances of getting selected will be low. All right, now moving on, whether you have experienced of exporting to Russia, and then what is the feed antibiotic, what are your capability? This is another opportunity which is there for you to add more information or provide more information to the international buyer to select you, right? So these are the two opportunities. Other fields are fairly standard. These are information heads, and almost everyone will be having that information. But these are the two areas, or the two places for you to stand out and present yourself as a professional organization that can fulfill the international buyer's lead or requirement. All right. So this is one process, or one of the method which using which you will be doing business with international buyers. Now, these leads typically are active for a week. So it is not like it will be active perpetually. So it is always better to look at the expiry time and try to submit your response before that. Now, once this lead has expired or the active time has expired. After that, all the responses are reviewed. Earlier, PO's team has shared the responses, but that's where the buyer has shared the concern that many of them were inaccurate or untrue as well. So that's where PO team puts in a lot of effort to review those requisitions or responses, filter them out, and then share them with the international buyer. And then international buyer reviews them and then makes the selection and connects with them. Sometime it has happened that the international buyer was not able to make that decision. So that's where they had asked, share our contact details with these exporters and they can connect with us directly. So if that happens, the FIO will share their contact details. Otherwise, the international buyer will make the decision. They'll choose the exporters they would like to work with and they will connect with you. So this is one of the method which is available for the international buyers to connect with you and do business with you. So this is one method which is there. What is the other method, you might be wondering? So other method is wherein an international buyer or importer comes to Indian Business Portal, they goes through the website and they decide that this is the exporter we would like to do business with, right? So they go through the search and this is a search which is customized to meet the requirements of export business. So this where you can see there's a search by HS code, which is sort of a common practice by international buyers when they're searching or when they're looking for product, they tend to search by HS code, and that is already accommodated here. Now, in case they know that there's a popular exporter by this name, they can search by the supplier name or they can search by product. Or they can go through the navigation, which is also a very extensive navigation covering more than 4,500 categories and subcategories across which Indian exporters are showcasing their products. So they can go through navigation or they can go through search and they will find you as a suitable exporter. Now, once they have found you, then how will they connect? So I've opened two profiles here simply because they're slightly more complete and they have added more certifications, etc. So that's why I've opened these profiles so that I can show you how the information is displayed. Now here, just imagine talking hypothetically that we are international buyer and we are going through Indian Business Portal and we have selected this particular exporter. Now, this is where we can see their entire catalog. Now, we have seen and their products look promising, their products look interesting. Now, what is the next thing that we will do? So the next thing is obviously we would like to understand more about this particular exporter. So obviously we'll come here and we can see there is about a section. So we'll go through that section and there's quite a bit of information available there. So we'll go through it, we'll understand more about this business, and then we will see there are a number of certificates which are also provided by this exporter. So we'll review them. Now, why are we doing this as an importer? To understand whether it is a genuine business or not, right? Because when it comes to doing business digitally or when it comes to growing your business digitally, you should simply understand the fundamental, and the fundamental is that you have to solve two problems. The first problem is discoverability, that a potential buyer or someone who wants to buy a product, a potential customer can find you. That is the discoverability challenge, right? Unless they are able to find you, nothing else can happen, right? So that is the first challenge that you have to solve. Now, how are you solving that? Whether you're running digital campaigns, etc., that's a different story how you're solving. But why is someone should be able to, or a potential customer, not someone, like if a random person is discovering your website, then it will not be of any benefit. But a potential customer can discover you, someone who's wanting to import, if you're into spices, wanting to import spices from India, right? So that customer can find you. That is the discoverability challenge. Now, Indian Business Portal plays a quite a bit of role in solving that discoverability challenge because international buyers are here. So that's where your discoverability challenge gets solved. Now, on the other hand, what is the other part of the challenge or the second challenge that I was talking to you? The second challenge is the credibility challenge. And the credibility challenge, simply put, is someone has found you, a potential customer has found you, but how they make sure that you are not a fraud and you are a genuine exporter from India by reviewing this information. That is the reason why all this information is presented here, including the certificates, so that they can confidently take that decision of proceeding ahead and getting into business with you. Right. So that's why all these information are displayed. In fact, this relates to Pratik's points. I'm not sure how many of you were paying attention to him at that time when he was explaining. So he mentioned that the information is displayed consistently. So this is one exporter's profile. We are going to another exporter's profile, and you can see it is displayed consistently. It is all looking the same, whereas both of them have very different looking websites. So I'm going to very quickly open their stores. So despite the fact that they are two different businesses and they have very different, although they are from the same product category, but you can see they have very different websites and very different presentation on their online stores, but they are all looking consistent so that we can give that uniform experience to international buyer. Now, coming back to the point that we were discussing, that the international buyer has come here, they have found you, they like their product, they have gone through the information, and they are confident that you are a genuine business. Now, what next? How will they connect with you? So for that, a very popular method that is used these days is a request meeting, which you can see here. So similar to how we are connecting today, similar to that, they will schedule an online meeting. They'll connect with you. They'll explain their requirement. They'll understand about your business, and you can take the discussion forward from there, deal forward from there. Right. So this is one method which is there. The second method, the most popular one, is this one. Then the second method is contact seller. This is where international buyer comes, they reviews your profile. Now, instead of scheduling the meeting, they use the contact seller option. Now, using the contact seller option, they send a contact request that we are interested to do business with you. And you'll get their email ID, you'll get their name, email ID, and contact number. So you can connect with them using email or phone. So that is the contact seller. Now, how will you get this information? So, for example, I have come here and this is Yadunanda Fashion. So I send them a contact seller request. How will they get them? So they'll get an email that there is this person who's wanting to connect with you on Indian Business Portal. So that is one. Second, all this information, so whosoever is contacting them, will get recorded in the control panel of their online store. So in future, accidentally, if they delete the email or if they overlook the email, still they can go to the control panel and they can see all the contact requests which are sent to them, right? So this is the second method. The third one is obviously they will be visiting your online store. They'll visit your online store, and here you have contact us. So if you are displaying your contact number and email ID, then certainly they'll be able to reach out to you on these contact details directly as well. All right. So these are the two methods using which international buyers will be doing business with you. I can see there's a comment before moving ahead. In case you're wondering what had happened, I was just looking into the questions, and that's where I see there's a question by one of the participant, and uh, the comment or the question was related to services. This is where you can see the services are there. Mr. Pawan, I think you haven't explored the platform thoroughly. That's why you have this impression. The services are already there. If there is any service that you feel is not there in the navigation and you think that it should be included, you can drop an email onto our help desk. Even in here, you can see industrial part and fabrication services. There are a number of services which are already part of navigation, and this is where you have telecommunication, tourism, right? So I hope that that question is answered. So I think what Mr. Pawan is trying to say is that this is where in this drop down we should also include services that, but this product refers to. This is where if you're even typing the name of a service here, you'll be able to open that. It will not differentiate. So it is not like if you're searching for a service, you will not be able to find that. But your point is taken that if we are displaying services separately, a buyer may be able to search for it dedicatedly. So we'll take that point up. The point is taken. So thank you, Mr. Pawan, for sharing that. There's one comment by Miss Reenu Bhatia, and the question, not comment, that is related to the size of the image changed from 1024 to 800 by 1000, but the product is still not showing. So, Renuji, I don't think you have understood or what you're trying to do is related to the visibility of the product. So if you're uploading a smaller size image, it will appear blurry, but it will not impact your product appearing, not appearing, right? So there should be some other issue, or I'm not sure whether your business is listed on Indian Business Portal or you're mapping it correctly. So there may be other issues with that. And this is something which I am requesting to everyone, that instead of waiting for the webinar, because webinar happens once in a week. So if you're facing any technical issues, help desk is there. We have a dedicated team to help you out. Reach out to help desk then and there, right? So this question should be in the email to the help desk, not in a webinar, right? This is almost like you're waiting for a week and then you're getting a response wherein you can get the response almost instantly, right? So don't wait for a week for the webinar to happen. Raise the question in the help desk, and help desk team will be more than happy to help you and guide you, right? If you're not getting a response, drop me an email. I'll ensure that you get a response from the help desk, right? So please don't wait. I don't think this is a wise utilization of the time. Why should you wait for the webinar to happen? Raise the concern with the help desk, and we have a dedicated team just for helping you out. All right, so let's move on to the next point, and that is something that I think we have already covered. What are the key features? And I don't think we should be spending a lot of time there, because we don't have a lot of time left at our disposal. Uh, what are the case studies or success stories is something a lot of people ask us. So I'll quickly show you. So if you go to the footer, that's where you will see there is a resources tab. So this is the resources. You can go there, and we have displayed few success stories there. So here you can find the success stories, so you can review them. If you want to review the success stories, you are more than welcome to go there and review them. What is the process of registration and optimization? So let's understand that. So now we are going to understand what is the process of registration onto Indian Business Portal. If you are not registered, if you are not part of Indian Business Portal, how should you register? What should be the step-by-step process? So I'm going to explain to you that. So the very first thing that you have to do to be listed on Indian Business Portal is you have to open Indian Business Portal. And once you'll open Indian Business Portal on your device, you'll see there's an option which says sell on Indian Business Portal, register as Indian exporter. You have to click on that, which will open another page. This is the page which will open up. Now, this is also a very useful page. So whenever you have time, please go through this page. You'll find a lot of useful content, knowledgeable content, especially the FAQ. It has uh, basically the most popular questions which are asked. So you'll get good knowledge there. So I'll just repeat the process because we got distracted. So you have to go to Indian Business Portal, click on this option which says sell on Indian Business Portal, register as Indian exporter, and then this page will open up. Here you have to click on create your catalog, which will open this page. On this page, before moving ahead, you should watch this video. This is about a 20-minute video, but you must watch this video because it will give you an understanding in terms of what the process is and what all is required. Because if you proceed ahead and then you realize, oh, I need this, let me arrange that. Oh, then you move one step further and then you realize, oh, I need that. And then you'll invest time in arranging that, right? So review the video, you'll understand what all is required. You can arrange all that and then get started. So that's where you'll be able to complete the entire thing in one go without wasting any time, without any distraction. So that is a request. But in case you don't have time, or if there's a paucity of time, then you can at least keep the video open alongside so that if you're getting stuck at any point, you know what to do. All right. So I have already opened this video. This is the video, which will not be playing it. I'll just quickly walk you through. We'll use that. But quite frequently, we get asked this question that this is in English. And if we want to review this video, or if we want to understand this video in Hindi, will it be possible? So we have made that happen. This is where you'll find the link of the Hindi video. So same video is available in Hindi as well. So if you want to review the Hindi video, you can do that. Or if you're okay with the English video, this is where you'll find the video. So we will just make this video full screen and I'll explain the rest of the steps using the video. As I mentioned, we will not be playing the video. That will not be a very wise use of your time. So this is the first step that we have already seen that you have to take. And this is where we are. This is the screen from where we open the video. You have to input your name, your email ID, password, and click on agree and continue. In the next screen, you have to do an OTP verification, input the GST number, add your company detail and your location, legal entity type, and move to the next step, your industry, sub-industry, what type of activities you are involved in, manufacturing, export, etc., which will bring you to the screen. On the screen, you have to click on convert now, answer 3 simple questions. In the next screen, you have to select a suitable design theme as per your liking. In case you don't like it, you can easily change it. It is a very simple process. You'll be able to change the theme in matter of seconds, which will bring you to this screen. On the screen, there are 2 input fields. The first one is store name. So store name should be your business name, or if you are operating a popular brand, so in that case, it will be your brand name. And then we have URL. So what is a URL? URL is something that we use to open a website. So for example, if you want to open Google, we type google.com, or if you want to open Indian Business Portal, we type indianbusinessportal.in. So tomorrow, what should a person be typing to open your website? That is what you have to specify here, and then click on create store. Now, related to this, there are a few popular questions which gets asked. One is, we have our own domain. Can we use that? The answer is certainly you can use your own domain for your online stores. In fact, I'll show you a few examples as well once we go through the journey, because I don't want to confuse you. So I'll show you examples as well to help you understand the online store, what online store means in a better way and what type of online stores are there. We'll do that, but once we are done with this journey. And the second question is related to Lynker.store. What is this Lynker.store? So Lynker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to you absolutely free of cost, and you can use it for as long period as you want. Why are we doing that? So there are 2 reasons for that. The first one is to make this journey convenient for you. Now imagine that if we had asked you to point the DNS of your domain to our server, or to implement an SSL, then how convenient it would have been. Now, I'm not sure how many of you understood what did I said. It would have become quite technical for you to understand or do. So we wanted to make this journey, this process as convenient, as simple, so that anyone and everyone with basic computer knowledge can also do. So that's why we have provided this option. The second reason is far more important, and I am not sure how many of you had the previous experience of creating a website, but if you had created a website in the past or operating a website, you will agree there are a number of cost heads associated with setting up and operating a website like domain registration and renewal, SSL, and I'm referring to the positive SSL, not the wildcard SSL. So there is like it costs a couple of thousand rupees every year, and then you have hosting, you have tech support, you need to have a resource that can update the website, etc. So there are a number of costs associated with a website, and because of those cost heads, a lot of time MSMEs especially shy away, or they don't create their own digital presence. They don't create their own website. So to overcome that challenge, or to help SMEs overcome that challenge, we are providing this option. So if a business is using Lynker.store subdomain, talking hypothetically, then they don't have to worry about domain renewal. They don't have to worry about SSL. They don't have to worry about hosting. And the platform is so simple to use. Anyone and everyone can use it. So there's no requirement for a specialized resource as well. So you can manage it, and you can create something called sustainable digital solution, is something that you can sustain for a long period of time. All right. So that is about the Lynker.store subdomain, and let's move ahead. So once you are done, it will bring you to the screen. This is where you'll see there are a number of options, and this is where you have a store setup. You have to click on that, which will open this pop-up. On this pop-up, you can see there are 4 steps, and we have already done 3. So there's one more step, which is the product upload. And the product upload process is explained in the video to a great detail. So we will not be spending your valuable time there. But there's one point I would want to discuss with you, and that is related to GI product. So this is the GI product option which is there. If you are dealing in GI product, then you should switch it on. Otherwise, you can keep it switched off. So if you're dealing in GI products, you can switch it on, and that's where you'll be given an option to select a category and subcategory. And after that, you have to upload the certificate. Now, what is a GI product, you might be wondering? So I'll quickly take you to Indian Business Portal, and this where you can see GI product is the first category, and these are geographical indication of India. These are the specialty products of a particular location, and these can be of various types like agriculture, foodstuffs, etc., etc. Now, Varanasi has a very popular GI product, Banarsi Sari, which we can see here. They are also very popular for wooden lacquer toys. So I'll just quickly open one of the product to show you. And my internet is a little slow today, so please bear with me on that. And also, I have a bad throat, which you have already guessed, I am assuming. So this is a product which is a GI product. So here you can see there's an emblem GI product, and this is where it is specified that it is a Varanasi wooden lacquer toy, right? So that's how GI products are highlighted on Indian Business Portal. But it is essential that you should be uploading the GI certificate. If you are not uploading the GI certificate, you'll not be able to specify your product as a GI product. So that was one point I wanted to share with you related to the product upload. The rest of the things are explained in the video to great extent. So we'll not spend your time there. We'll just fast forward it. So once the product is uploaded, and minimum one product has to be uploaded, you have to click on this home shaped icon, which will bring you to the home screen. And this is where you have to click on this button, this big button which says unpublished, and publish your store. And that will conclude the store creation, and that will uh, complete this journey of creating your online store. But does that mean that this is the end and you are done? You have created the website? Absolutely not. There is a lot more that you have to do. So once you are done with that journey, you have to upload the remaining products. For that, you can go to the catalog and you can go to product section. And if you have to upload more than 10 products, then I will encourage you, or I suggest to you that you must be using the bulk upload process. If you're you have to upload more than 10 products and you're uploading one product at a time, you're doing injustice to yourself. You are wasting your own time. You should not be doing that. You should upload them in bulk, because bulk will be far quicker. So upload them in bulk if you have to upload more than 10 products. If they are less than 10 products, then you can upload them one product at a time as well. But don't do that. And in fact, if your team is doing, then also ask them to upload in bulk. We have seen that in past. There's one business we were guiding them, and we in fact trained their team in both the processes, and then they started uploading the product. And after a week, we curiously reviewed like how many products have you uploaded. They had just uploaded 60 product, and we were like baffled. How come entire week you have uploaded 60 products? And when we like further asked questions and tried to probe, that's where we realized that they had been uploading one product at a time. So even if your team is doing, just observe them that they are uploading it in bulk. Otherwise, that's not a sensible use of time. So you have to upload the products. Once you are done with the upload, then you have to go to store settings and store details and about your export. And this is where you'll see the form. You have to fill in this form, and this form will populate the profile section, which I was showing you. Let's go to the profile once again. This is where we saw that about us section. So all this information is coming from here. And again, this form is fairly simple. You have to specify whether you're a FIU member or not. You have to input your IC code and verify it. You have to specify the legal entity type of your business, year of establishment, merchant or manufacturer, what is your business operation, whether you are MSME or not, what is the export turnover, countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, number of employees which are there, license certificates, you can add them, and then advantages and innovation, what you have brought in into the field. This is where, again, you are sharing that information to help the international buyer get impressed and select you. And then what type of proposals you are interested in. So once you have saved this information, then you can go to the My Store and you can work on selecting a suitable theme and uploading banners, setting up navigation as well. But these are optional, and I would recommend that you should do that because at the end of the day, international buyer wants to work with a professional organization, not with an organization that has done half part or half-hearted effort in creating their website, and their website still looks like a work in progress website. Obviously, no one would want to do business with such an organization. You will not do business with such an organization, will you? So obviously, you should ensure that even if it is not looking like the world's most beautiful website, it should be presentable, it should be decent. So you should try to work on the presentability aspect of the website as well. Once you're done with all that, you have to come to the home section. You have to click on this home shaped icon, which brings you to this section. On this section, you have to submit request. You have to click on send request, which will open this overlay. On this overlay, you'll see do's and don'ts. So you should review these, but more importantly, you should watch this video. In this video, we have explained what are the mistakes which are preventing you from being listed, or which can prevent you from being listed on Indian Business Portal, and how to solve them. So this video is very important. You should watch this video. And once you are certain that there are absolutely no issues with my website, then sure, you should proceed ahead to submit the request. You have to just select the terms, and then you can click on submit. Once you have submitted the request, it will get reviewed by the operations team. If everything is in order, your website will get listed. If there are issues, they will reject it, and you will get a response back with the rejection reasons. And then you can fix those issues and list it, submit the request back again. Now, one update that I would want to share with you is this listing process, this send request process will be changing because we are in process of developing a new process flow, a new, more concise process flow, wherein in one screen you can do everything. So that process flow will be available here in the sales channel in some time soon. So I think by then you will already be listed on Indian Business Portal. But if you come across that it is not visible here, I'm just telling you, if that happens, Khuda na khasta, that it is not visible here, then it will be here, right? So don't, if you are getting confused, Adnan told us that it will be in the home section and now it is not there. Where it is, then you will find it here, right? All right. So just for your reference. All right. So this is how you have to list on Indian Business Portal. Now, I promised to you that I'll be showing you a few examples of the online store. So this is an example of a hospital equipment or medical equipment manufacturer and exporter. So this is their digital catalog that we are looking at. Now, it looks like a website where a number of products are displayed, but is online shopping happening here? No. This is where you can see send inquiry. So this business has chosen that if there is a medical institution, an international medical institution that wants to import their products, they have to send them an inquiry that this is what we are interested to import. This is another website. They're into equipment for stadiums and sports installations or sports setups. And this is their product page. I've opened their product page. This is one of their product that we are looking at. So this is where again you can see the interaction is send inquiry. They have even added a video, they have added brochure, and other details are also added. So if there is a stadium or there is a sports institution, there is a coaching center that is interested to buy this product, they can simply send them a request that we are interested to buy this product, and then they can connect with them. This is another example of a B2B online store. This is where just looking at the images, you can make out that this is a hardcore industrial product, and this is where they have various product. And I'll just quickly take you to the product detail page or category detail page. This is where again you can see the interaction is request quotation. So any prospective customer can come here and they can request for quotation. Now, if you are a business that is interested to do retail export, wherein you want to sell to international buyers for their personal consumption, smaller quantity, retail quantities, can you do that? Yes, certainly you can do that. This is an example that I'm showing to you. This is an exporter in natural beauty product, and this is their digital catalog. But instead of prospective customers sending them an inquiry, they are coming here and they are placing an order. Now, you might be a little baffled that what if we don't want to sell in smaller quantities, but we want to sell to the retail Indian customers in smaller quantities, and international buyers should buy in larger quantities. Is that possible? Can we do both the things on the same website? The answer is certainly you can do that. This is that digital catalog I'm showing you. So this is where you can see there are two interactions happening here. So as a retail customer, if I want to buy this sari for myself, for my consumption, I can do that. I can come here, I can do an add to cart, and I can place an order. And at the same time, if there's an international buyer and they're wanting to buy products from them, they can come here and they can send an inquiry. So both the interactions are here. This is a similar example of home decor brass products. And this is another example of home decor products that we are looking at, right? So this is an example of Agree product that we are looking at. And this is something I wanted to show you because this happens to be a very common question in our webinars that I am a merchant exporter and I deal in diverse categories, and should I create one online store or should I create one online store each for each category? The answer is you will be creating one online store and you'll be putting products of all those categories into the one online store. And this is a online store of a merchant exporter that you're looking at on your screen. So this where you can see they deal in grocery items, fruits and vegetable, fashion, and other products, including copper products, iron drums, cotton yarn, etc. Right? So very diverse product categorization, and they deal in all these kind of products. So you should also do that in case there are merchant exporters in the audience and they must be having this question. So I thought of answering that. There's also a fourth variety of digital catalog, which is here. And on the face of it, it looks like a typical online shopping website, but it also has this capability which is used by bulk buyers to place an order. Now, you must be wondering, like, this is, it does not look like related to export. Why is he explaining? So it has a utilization in export. This particular capability allows you to upload products onto your website and hide them from public visibility. Now you must be thinking, why should we do that? Because you have a fear that your designs, your styles might get stolen, they might get copied. So in order to avoid that, in order to safeguard your hard work of creating those designs and style, you can put them behind lock and key. So you can put them behind a secured access. And then the people whom you are granting an access. So for example, I am an international buyer, you know me, so you can grant me access and I can log in and I can see the latest collection, but others can't, right? So that is the utilization of this capability. It's called the supply chain capability, by the way, on our ecosystem or on our infrastructure. So you can use that in case you are interested. So these were few examples of digital catalog I thought of showing. All right, so this is where I will turn off the screen share and we'll break into the question answer round. So if you have a question and you have already not asked that question, you have already not added that in the Q&A, please do that. And while you are adding your question in the Q&A, let me quickly share my contact details. But before that, let me share the help desk contact detail, because I think our audience or our members need help desk contact details more. So I've shared the help desk contact details, and I am sharing my contact details as well with everyone in the chat. So please, if there is, I'm just repeating that, and I don't intend to uh, like point fingers on anyone. This is a journal suggestion or request that I'm making to everyone, that if there is a technical issue, you should immediately reach out to our help desk. In fact, on the seller panel also, and I think I should show you from where you can get the help on the seller panel. So just give me a quick second, or we'll take like 10 seconds to go through that. But it is important. I feel it is important that you should know in case you feel get stuck, where should you go. So let me hide this one, so otherwise it will keep bothering you. So we are back on the control panel. When you'll create your online store, you'll have the control panel. Whatever issue that you're facing, this where you can see there are two things which are available. One is resources. If you click on that, it will take you to the page where you have a lot of tutorial content available, so you can review that. In fact, I'm also going to share with you a presentation. You can come here, or otherwise I'll be also sharing a presentation where I put together the tutorial content, the necessary tutorial content together, so that you can quickly get started. You don't have to go to multiple places. So that is one thing. But coming back to the point which I'm trying to highlight here, that if you're facing any issue, this is where you have the support option. You can click on it and it will directly open an email. So you'll be able to send an email very quickly and reach out to our help desk. In case we are not able to do that, then uh, I've already given you the email ID and the contact number. You can call on the number, or you can write an email, and our help desk team will connect with you proactively. All right. So that is a request that I wanted to make with everyone, that you shouldn't be waiting for the webinar to happen. If there's an issue, raise it with the help desk immediately. Although I've already answered that, but this is Mr. Pawan's question, Mr. Pawan S. Yadav. So, Pawan, again, as I mentioned, for any technical issues, please do reach out to our help desk. I've already provided you the contact number and the email ID. Please do drop an email so that our help desk can connect with you and address the issue. You can also mark me in the CC so that I can ask the team to connect with you at the earliest. I can see there's a question by Mr. Zakiullah, how to bulk upload the products. Bulk uploading a product is a fairly simple and straightforward process. And as I was mentioning that I am going to share a presentation with you with tutorial content. So that's where I've added the link. I will just share the link right away. So I'm sharing that with everyone in the chat. So if you go to this presentation, you'll find a number of tutorial videos, starting with how to list on Indian Business Portal, both English and Hindi versions, and then the compliance checklist, and then how to upload the product. Now, in how to upload the product, in fact, I think I should do the screen share also so that I can help you. Otherwise, like it looks very weird. What am I talking? You'll not be able to relate to it. So very quickly, there's a presentation I've shared the link of, and here you'll see there are a number of tutorial videos. This is the video that I showed to you. This is the Hindi version. This is the compliance checklist version. This is how to upload the product. Now, this video is very important if you're someone who is having an issue of creating good quality content and you want to understand how to use AI tools. In this video, I've explained that, and then you have the bulk upload video, and then you have how to set up navigation. That is another challenge area. And lastly, I've added one more video, and this is talking about what are the issues that can prevent international buyers from connecting with you. What are the areas where you should focus on? So these are, I think, 7 videos. I'll also add few more videos to this after our session. Right, so this is something that you'll find useful. So, sorry. So that's something which I have shared in the chat. Next question from Janvi Devi, and her question is has two parts. One is how to register new email ID. So if I've understood this correctly, you want to register with a new email ID. You can follow the process which I had explained earlier. And is there a fee for registration? No, there is no fee for registration onto Indian Business Portal. Next question is from Marutu Pandyan and wants to understand about the GI product and from where to get GI certificate. So, Manoj or Mukesh, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, yes, sir. For GI product, in case it is online, online, she can apply for GI product certificate. And for suppose that where suppose that email ID and website, in case you are interested, please drop one mail to us. I will share details of
Sure. So I'm going to share an email ID.
ibp@fio.org.
Yeah, I will do.
Over this email ID, maybe she
Right.
can drop
So,
email.
sure. I've shared that email ID in the chat. I'll also share it via a personal message to the members so that they have that. What is the registration process? I think, Janvi, you were not there while I was explaining the process. So the presentation link which I've shared, if you open that, the first tutorial is around the registration process only. So you will understand the process. In fact, I will also share it with you via private chat so that you have that in your inbox. Next comment from Mr. James. So, Mr. James, I am noting down your point. But again, Mr. James, this is where, as I mentioned, if there is an issue, please uh, do reach out to help desk, or you can reach out to me as well. But not wait for the webinar to happen, right? So I'll get the issue checked, Mr. Jim, and I hope your contact details are there on the online store so that we can connect with you. The email ID is there, so I think we will reach out to on the email ID and update you. So your concern is that your online store was listed on Indian Business Portal, but now it is not listed. Sure, I will get it checked. I'm just noting it down. All right, so that was Mr. James' question. The last question which I can see in the Q&A is from Mr. Zakiullah, and he wants to understand what are the payment terms. So for the payment terms, this is something which you are deciding with the international buyer. So it is something that you and the international buyer will be deciding. Okay, sure. So I think this is it. So you can see there is a comment. There are two comments. One is we are unable to copy the help desk contact details. I think I am able to do that. I'm not sure why you're facing the issue, but what I'll do is I will also, you'll get the recording of this webinar. So in the description of the recording, the recording will be a YouTube video. So in the description of the webinar, I will again add these details so that even if you're not able to copy here, you'll get the details. All right. So that should help. The other question is, or popular question, will we get the recording? Yes, absolutely. You will get the recording. All of you will get the recording on the email ID that you have used to join today's session. But just in case you want to access it, I'm going to give you the link of our YouTube channel. So you can go there and you will find the recording there. So just bear with me for a second. I'll share the link with you. So I've shared the YouTube channel's link with you. And there is one more thing that I'm going to share with you, and that is a WhatsApp group that we have created for our members. So I'm going to share the join link. I will suggest that you should also join the link, because that's where, again, this kind of scenario wherein you need help, you can just drop a WhatsApp message, and there are a number of people from our team are part of that WhatsApp group. So please do join the group as well. I've shared both the links in the chat. You can use the link. So there's one last question. I am not sure why the participants are not able to copy. Let me see. There are no restrictions as such. Just check the restriction. There are no restrictions as such. But why are you not able to copy? There's one question, last question that I've seen in the chat from Mr. Raju, and that is related to the authentication or genuineness of importers. And that is where we always encourage, because there is a level of verification that we do, but we always say that as a exporter, you should do your due diligence. It should not be like you're getting the inquiry from Indian Business Portal and you should blindly trust that it is a genuine importer. No, you should do your own due diligence. It is your business and you must do your due diligence before getting into any business transaction. All right, so that was the last question I can see in the chat. And now I can see there are a number of participants who are seeing that they are not able to copy the details. So don't worry, you will all will get the recording of today's session. So and that will be a YouTube video. So in the description of that video, I will add all these details. You'll find it there. All right. It is a system generated email that goes with, so I'll not be able to add it to the email itself. In case you're wondering why are you asking us to go to the video and add the details there, because it is a system generated email that goes. So you'll get the recording and in the recording I'll add the details. All right. So I hope that will be fine with everyone. Otherwise, you have my email ID. You can drop me an email and I'll provide all this information to you. Perfect. So this where I think we can conclude the session for today. Mukesh, Manoj, should we
Yes, sir.
conclude the session for today?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So thank you everyone for your valuable time. I hope you found the session informative. And as I mentioned, you have my contact details. You have our help desk contact details. Please don't wait for the webinar to happen. Raise the request. You can also join the WhatsApp group and you can raise the concern there. And even other than that, if you want to get your online store reviewed or if you need any suggestions, please do feel free to reach out. Perfect. So this is where we'll conclude the session for today. Thank you for
Thank
your
you. Thank
valuable
you, sir.
time. Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks, Mukesh.
Thank
Thanks,
you. Thank
Manoj.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.